Welcome to another video from Earnped.com. I am Stevie B, happy to have you all with me today. So today I am at Camp Phoenix, but we are actually heading somewhere else because there is something I want to try and show you guys. I've tried to make a couple of videos about this, but they just keep not coming out quite correct. So I'm going to try and see if we can get this done. So there's something else I want to talk to you about today. This video might go a little bit longer than normal because I'm trying to cover two subjects. I'm trying to cover something in-game, and then I'm trying to cover something related to the game. So let's start with trying to get away from Camp Phoenix, and let's start with trying to get to the subject of today's video in-game. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about something related to the game. Afterwards, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Earnped.com, how it interacts with Hideout.tv, and we have a hater on our hands. That is right, hater alert. So let's get a good big sip going. I'm not going to lie, guys. This one's going to be a two-sipper. Okay. So first things first. I've got to get to Camp Phoenix to the teleporter because I've got to get to Atlas Haven. And I need to thank a fellow player, a fellow Stevie, who filled me in on this info yesterday. Now, I'm going to try a technique to try and clear the area. So, I'm not sure how this is going to work. But essentially, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday. And obviously, with the 20th anniversary event going on, there are a lot of rare robot spawns that normally we don't get to deal with, that normally we're not able to easily find or easily find in any kind of quantity, right? So in messing with the spawns, I was talking to this person, and they said, you know, there's some other spawns you might be interested in. They're over in this area if you go over to Atlas Haven. I was like, okay, cool. So I went over there, and the reason I want to show it to you guys is there are a ton of mobs in-game, and I probably need to make more videos on this. There are a ton of mobs in-game that people just don't even know exist. And I think I could make probably 100 videos over 100 mobs that I would say probably 99% of people have never heard of. And I think it would be quite interesting because now that we have Codex and now that we have Meta Codex, you got to remember each mob has 26 levels of Codex you can go through for skills. And then you can repeat level 26 as many times as you want. And then also keep in mind with Meta Codex is all about attributes, right? And the cool thing with Meta Codex is that you get one Meta Codex level for every 5 levels of regular Codex that you go through. So today, what we're going to be looking at let me get the waypoint, is a creature called a JamRaider. Now, JamRaiders are something I had not even heard of until the other day, whenever my buddy introduced me to this. Now, here is the ginormous problem that we're going to have. The ginormous problem that we're going to have is that these JamRaiders are stuck in an area with a whole bunch of drone coordinators. And the drone coordinators are like level 20, and they're not super easy to deal with. So first of all, I'm going to go grab some ammo real quick. So I do have my Vigilante armor on. I do have my plates on my Vigilante armor because this is really good armor for dealing with drones and drone coordinators. A drone coordinator is not the same as a drone. So the reason the JamRaiders are so amazing is if you can find a spawn of them, which usually outside of the 20th anniversary event, usually we really don't have a very good spawn of JamRaiders. They're very, very hard to find, and when you can find them, they're few and far between. They're just not something that is usually something super easy to find. However, the cool thing about them is they don't fight back. So if you were a brand new player in 2023, you don't even have to bother going to Camp Icarus and picking out a puny creature. You can just deal with JamRaiders, and it's super easy to skill, super easy to get Codex, super easy to get your weapon skills up. Now the problem, like I said, is there's all these drone coordinators out here. So what I'm going to try and do first is I'm going to try and clear out the drone coordinators. Now earlier, my problem that I was having was that these drone coordinators were all over the place. And I essentially, these are the JamRaiders up here. They look like little Voltorbs from Pokemon. So if I can get all these drone coordinators nice and away from the little JamRaiders, we'll be good to go. Come on, guys, follow me over here. Follow me over here. I don't want to completely outrun them. And now that I've outran them, they should be standing still. Okay, good. Okay, so if I can get the drone coordinators away, which this is probably going to be the best method to use to get them away. If you've got a vehicle that can take the hits, you just rep the vehicle up. And, oh, well, I thought I outran them. Maybe I've got to get them completely off the radar. Usually if you get them far enough behind you, they quit chasing. Maybe I've got to get them completely off the radar. Let's see if that'll do the trick. So if I can clear the area of the drone coordinators, then I'm free to go after these JamRaiders. So they're very low level. They only have 40 HP. There's only two maturities. There's the 40 HP variety, which is what we're dealing with, and then there's a level 63 that's got like a ridiculous amount of HP. What is that thingy? Is that a second entity? Yep, level 35 second entity. So there's a level 63 JamRaider that does have like 4,400 HP. That one I do believe attacks, and that one can be a real big nuisance to deal with. But if we can avoid having that thing spawn, which supposedly only spawns after a whole bunch of these lower level drone coordinators, or of the JamRaiders I should say, then we should be in really, really good shape. So what I need to do is get all these drone coordinators away from these JamRaiders up here. And the fact that I've got people here actively hunting is not really helping me out any, because I need all these guys away from my JamRaiders. Come on. Come on, y'all can do it. If I can get them far enough away from the JamRaiders, I'll be in good shape. Okay, now I'm going to die. And hopefully when I die, I can get back to my JamRaiders and just have at it. I'm going to take off my vigilante armor. And it's not that they drop super good loot or anything. They do drop some interesting loot. But I'm mainly doing this for the Codex because they just don't fight back. So you could do this with a TT weapon. Let's see. How far away am I? It didn't put me where I wanted to be. Okay, but it didn't put me where I didn't want to be either. So my death location's right over there. Good. So they don't necessarily fight back. They don't fight back at all. So you could do this with a TT weapon. And that's great for new and low level players. Like I said, assuming you can clear the area. Now last night, when I very first shot this video, the very first time I went here, there was nothing here. It was just JamRaiders. All the drone coordinators were gone. There was no other mobs in the area. There might have been a few level 3 or 4 mobs, but there was nothing really that was a pain in the butt. Today I show up, and I'm having a huge pain in the butt because of all these stupid drone coordinators. And the problem is, if people kill them, they respawn. If I drag them away, they don't respawn. They just stay there. So I might just be doing this at a bad time of day. It's 11:30 in the morning on a Sunday, so there's a lot of people online right now. There's a lot of people trying to have fun right now. Last night it was like 2 a.m. Friday night, or Saturday night, right? Sunday morning. So there were very, very few people online, and that was probably part of the reason. Somebody had probably already done this. They'd already cleared the area. They'd already gotten rid of all the drone coordinators, and I just got lucky and came at the right time to be able to just hammer away on some JamRaiders. So I like them because they're little Voltorb looking things. Voltorb was always one of my favorite Pokemon, but like I said, they just don't fight back. So from a strategic point of view, if you're looking at the game strategically, especially as a new player going, how can I skill, or even as a higher level player going, how can I skill, especially not even just the Codex, but the Meta Codex, then JamRaiders are awesome because, like I said, they've only got 40 HP. Well, my gun specifically does about 40 DPS, and it's usually about 20 damage per shot. So if I can two-shot these things, I'm golden. If I three-shot them, I tend to overkill. If I can get a crit on my first shot, I'm usually golden. If I get a crit on my second shot, I usually overkill. And I don't like to do a lot of overkill. But it's just so amazing having a mob that doesn't fight back because no fapping, no having to heal, no having to stand around and heal naturally. So as long as you're using the right weapon, TT weapon for a newer player, for a more experienced player, something that's only doing, 10 to 20 damage per shot, making it a 2 to 4 shot kill, where you're golden. You just fly through the Codex, and then you fly through the Meta Codex. Super awesome, super easy, right? Now, the problem that you're going to run into is when you have other people here. There were people that were one-shotting these things. Let's see if I can find JamRaider real quick. They were one-shotting these things with massive amounts of overkill. There we go, JamRaider. Massive amounts of overkill. And that wasn't good. They were also taking down the drones fairly easily. Well, if you're taking down the drones fairly easily and you're wiping out the JamRaiders, then you're probably not doing yourself any favors. If you've got a weapon that's high-powered enough to take down these level 21 drone coordinators, and you're using that same weapon on the JamRaiders, you're probably not doing yourself any favors at all. Now, I might have to take out a few drones, it looks like, and see, this is the problem that I had earlier when I tried to shoot this video. I've got these stupid drone coordinators, and people just keep killing them. So I might have to come back and do this yet again at a time when there's just nobody here, and I can just drag these things off and keep them dragged off. But if we can find more mobs like this, it's great for newer players who really don't have the money to be spending fapping, who really just need to be able to focus on getting those weapon skills up, be able to focus on getting their Codex up, getting their Meta Codex up. It's a really good thing. Now, moving on from that, I have something else I want to cover with you guys while I attempt to do this. So I got an email today asking about Earnped.com, and they asked a question that I get a lot, so I wanted to cover this in today's video. How do you get Earnped.com to show up as a redemption option on Hideout? Because a lot of people watch the Hideout videos and they want to redeem their points. If you will go to Earnped.com and log in and interact with the website, and then you will go to Hideout.tv and interact with their website, if you will do this several times, then what will eventually happen is both websites use cookies. Every website out there uses cookies, right? This is something almost everybody's familiar with in 2023. So if you will interact with both websites, which is really easy, go to Earnped.com, log in, set up your account, and then just use the links to Hideout on Earnped.com. Don't physically enter Hideout.tv into your browser. Use the links that I've given you guys on Earnped.com to go to Hideout to look at the videos. And when you do that, what it does is it tells Hideout.tv, hey, this person is on this website called Earnped.com. They're coming to Hideout from the link on Earnped.com. We're seeing cookies that are the same between both websites. This person uses Earnped.com. We need to add Earnped.com as a redemption option. So if you guys will use the links that I've given you on Earnped.com to go to the videos themselves, then Hideout will eventually add Earnped.com as a redemption option. So if you'll notice, I was taking damage just now. So if I'm taking damage, I know I've got a drone coordinator on me. So the thing that I love about these little Voltorb looking things, these little JamRaiders, is they do drop Belcar. So they actually drop a stone. Belcar. And if you're familiar with Belcar actually has some amount of markup. So somebody managed to get a whole 1 Pedworth today for 78%. So somebody started below TT value. But usually it goes for about 120%. So it does have some amount of markup. Now, because of the fact that these JamRaiders have such low HP and they have such a low cost to kill, you have to cycle a bajank load of ped through JamRaiders in order to get a stack of Belcar worth even putting on auction, much less refining. However, it can be done. Now, like I said, this JamRaider spawn is only here because of the 20th anniversary event, so it's not going to last forever. So this is a limited time opportunity. Then these things are going to be much harder to kill, much harder to find, much harder to get through Codex on, which is why I'm trying to bang it out now. So that said, just either use the cookies, go back and forth between the two websites, earnped.com and hideout.tv, or just go to earnped.com, log into your account, and use the actual links on the earnped.com website to go directly to the Hideout videos. Hideout will naturally add earnped.com as a redemption option. So, I get that a question a lot, and that's one that I want to put out there. I'm going to probably cover that in future videos also, just because I can't have that information out there enough. I get that question all the time. Now, that said, there's something else I want to cover with you guys, and then we're going to get to today's hater story. There are 60-day blackout windows on virtually every one of these websites that allows you to earn money for doing practically nothing. The reason that is keep in mind that the people who are paying you to do stuff like watch videos, they know most people are not actually actively watching the video. They know this is probably some of the worst advertising they can get. However, they're hoping that if it's cheap enough, they can get enough eyeballs on the commercial that it will make some sort of a difference. That's what they're betting on. So they know that it's low quality advertising, which is why they're not willing to pay a ton of money for it. This is why watching videos through places like Hideout and stuff, it gets pennies, not dollars. You know, if I could have somebody sitting in a room telling me their exact preferences of the products and services they like to buy, and I can pitch them in person, I'd probably be willing to spend several $100s for that. This is why we have things like timeshares, where they want to do all these in-person meetings and they're willing to give you tickets to Disney for it, right? Well, first of all, they get a discount on the ticket to Disney, but you're a captive audience. Not so when it comes to watching videos through a place like Hideout. They know this is low quality advertising. They know that they're just going for massive amounts of eyeballs, and maybe they get lucky and it works for them. They also know that people that are willing to do these kind of micro tasks are usually trying to cheat the system one way or another. Now, a way that a lot of people have tried that is using multiple browser windows or multiple IP addresses or using VPNs. This is why there's a 60-day blackout window. The sponsors and the advertisers have 60 days to verify that every click, every view is legitimate, that you're not using 900 different browser windows to just rack up points, because that's called fraud. Okay? I'm sorry. That's what it is. You are essentially stealing money from the advertisers. These people are willing to pay you to just watch a video, and you're trying to just rake money in left and right by essentially not watching the videos. That just makes you a horrible person, right? So that is why any of these microtask sponsors, any of these microtask places usually have that 60-day blackout. That means they won't send me the money for 60 days. They have 60 days to go in and say, no, we're going to invalidate every single click. We're going to invalidate every single view. And essentially do chargebacks, which is why my website, along with virtually every other website in existence, there might be somebody stupid enough to do it, makes you wait the 60 days. We have to wait to get the money from them, because otherwise, if we pay you today out of pocket, and then they turn around and say, nope, we're not paying you, you owe us all this money back, we're the ones that get stuck. And if we come to you guys and say, give us the money back, you're going to say, nope, sorry, right? Or just disappear. So this is why we have this. Now, the reason I bring this up is A, to let you guys know about the 60-day blackout period, but B, I want to share a series of emails that I received over the past couple of days. I checked my email earlier this morning. It's been a busy weekend. As you guys know, I'm dealing with a whole lot in real life. And I got 3 emails from the same person, and I want to share them with you. So as I deal with these drone coordinators, I'm going to share them with you. So let me pull up my email. I will read them to you word for word, and then I'm going to give you my response. So this email is from Zardan0. Zardan, Zardahn 0. Hail and hello. Brand new to Entropia. This is email 1, which came in Thursday night. Brand new to Entropia. I have been using and abusing the information I get from your site. Using and abusing the information I get from your site. Great. Thank you! Exclamation point. Since I like to get my feet wet first and then go back and learn up, things go click better for me that way. I plugged into Entropia and in no time had shut myself out of ammo and ped. Well, that doesn't sound very smart. So, I found your site and signed up. Unfortunately, I did not fully understand the username requirement thing. Took me 15 minutes just to find my name before I realized that all are like yours. Anyway, I got ped under the wrong username, I think. Not sure what to do. Here's how I signed up. Okay, well, that's not a problem. People do that all the time. I've got people who have signed up completely under the wrong name, and that's never been an issue. It will never be an issue. That's very easy to take care of because you're not going to forget it. You're going to remind me. Okay, so that's a non-deal. So here's where we go off the rails. That was email number 1. Let's go with email number 2. This came in shortly after email number 1. Hail and hello. Blank, I hate reading. Okay, well, if you hate reading, you probably shouldn't be playing a video game that requires a lot of reading. Okay, I made another account the correct way, I think. I redeemed from hideout.tv to Earnped this many points. I guess that's me. I read some more, and blank, buried on your off page, is keep in mind there's a 60-day blackout. Blank, 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 I need my money now. My dude is stuck and leave us with no ammo, no cash, no ride, at level noob. I am really regretting doing this, and there are more timely ways to earn some ped in downtime. 60 blanking days, it's blank money for blank's sake. Get your blank together. Words I could follow as well. Okay, let's go with email number 3, which came in right after that. Well, I tried the user request and you don't even exist. You're just a filthy blanking blank scammer. May you and your all die a horrible blanking death, you blank blank maggot. Okay, keep in mind, these all came in like within 24 hours. Let's keep that in mind. So, Mr. Zero, I'm going to now read to everybody the response email that I sent to you as soon as I kill me some JamRaiders, because I have been waiting 20 minutes dealing with these drones to kill some JamRaiders. Here we go. Now we're JamRaiding. And then I will get to the response email that I sent Mr. Zero here in just a second. I love it when we get people like Zero because they just prove that Entropia brings out the best and the worst in people. So here's my response. I don't ever want anybody saying that I didn't respond properly. Hey Zero, so first off, the 60-day blackout isn't my rule. It's the sponsors. These people pay you to do literally nothing but run some videos which they know people don't watch. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who do this in multiple windows at a time, defrauding the few advertisers willing to pay for this, which is why they won't pay me for 60 days. So you want me to pay you, then eat it if they decide not to pay me because you cheated the system. Given how many points you racked up so quickly, I'm guessing you were indeed using multiple browser windows, which means the sponsors won't be paying for those points anyway. Moving on from that, the naming thing isn't normally a big deal. That's super easy to deal with. However, you have a much bigger issue. Your temperament isn't going to do you well in Entropia. This is a game of years, and shooting off at the mouth because you don't understand, well, anything, is not going to get you very far. Normally, I would just pay a new player's earnings out of pocket and take the risk that the sponsors hit me with a chargeback, but for you, I'm going to make an exception, and we're just going to stick with when they pay me in 60 days, I'll pay you. Please do not redeem any more points or offers. As of this moment, all of your accounts on my website are banned. My competitors all have the same sponsors and same blackout period, so feel free to yell at them too. Life tip. Next time, don't be a jerk. Now, I used a word different than jerk, but I'm trying to keep this family friendly because it's going on YouTube. Sincerely, Stevie B. So here's the thing, guys. I am not hard to find. I'm probably one of the easiest people to find on the planet. I've said this before, especially when people try and like put my personal information out there. I don't hide. In fact, not only do I not hide, I tend to run toward things. I run one of the biggest in-game societies. I've got the YouTube channel. I've got Earnped. You guys have my email. I put my email address out there in practically every video now because it's the easiest way to get a hold of me. Unfortunately, Entropia does bring out the worst in people. And this is why I always tell you guys at the end of every video, there's always a hater sitting there just waiting to try and hit the dislike button on a video I put out. I can put out a video like this. There could be no drone coordinators here. There could be absolutely nothing here but JamRaiders. And me tell you, hey, if you're a new player, all you have to do is come shoot these things, get the loot out of them, rinse and repeat, get your weapon skills up, get through a Codex, and man, couldn't be easier. And people would dislike that video for some reason. There are people who will dislike the video just because of something I put in the video that they agree with me on, like the fact that haters suck. And they'll hit the dislike button because they're disliking the fact that there's haters. Okay, well, if you're liking the video, if you're liking the content, if you're agreeing with me, hit the like button. So I guarantee you Mr. Zero is going to try and badmouth me now because he couldn't figure out how to make Entropia work. He couldn't figure out how to not blow his wad and all of his cash in 2 minutes. He couldn't figure out how to not blow through all of his ammo. As he said, I like to jump in with both feet and then just figure it out as I go. Well, that doesn't seem like a way to play smarter, not harder. That seems like you're just really stupid. That just seems like your method in life is screw it up and then get mad at everybody else when you screw it up. I will agree, there are much better ways to earn PED than earnped.com. I will even agree there's much better ways to earn PED than playing Entropia. You know what those ways would be? Any job at all. Literally any job at all. Go get a minimum wage job, and for the vast majority of people, it's going to pay you more than you will ever make playing Entropia. That is just the sad truth. I know we all love this game because it's based on a real cash economy. I know that's why we're all drawn to this game. I know that this game sets world records, and there are super valuable items in game. The new super weapon was just found the other day. The new Justifier Improved TWEN Edition was literally just discovered yesterday. I just made a video on it. However, that is going to be a 1 in a billion shot. Everybody wishes they looted that weapon. And yeah, I do expect it's probably going to go for close to $15,000 to $20,000. I would be really surprised if it went for $10,000 or less. However, that person just hit the absolute lottery. And if you notice, they were hunting drone exterminators. Drone exterminators have like 6,500 HP. So they had to be using some pretty killer gear to start with. So that being said, while there are people who make money in Entropia, while there are people who make money playing Entropia, for the average player, the fun value is far going to outweigh the money, almost universally. That's just how it is. Now, that's not true for everybody, and I really do believe that there are ways that even a novice player can play smarter, not harder, and make their bankroll go further. That's why I make these videos. That's why I try and find opportunities like JamRaider where you guys don't have to fap, where even if you're a new player with a very low bankroll, you can come out here and hopefully get some Codex skills built up, get some defense skills built up with very little to no cost. Now, the drone coordinators are a problem. I admit that. However, it would not be too terribly difficult to get with a group of people interested in hunting drone coordinators and let them come hunt the drone coordinators while you hunt the JamRaiders. There are other places that you can hunt JamRaiders other than just right here. So there are ways to do all kinds of things in this game without having a bajillion dollars. It is possible. However, having a bad attitude, doing everything backwards, and then blaming it on everybody else, probably not going to get you that far. So I'm going to leave it right there for today. I know we've covered a lot. I hope this has been entertaining, if not enlightening. And obviously I've got a lot more coming for you guys with the TWEN event going on. It just seems that the content is never ending. It just seems that there's more and more opportunities almost on the daily. So I love that because there's always cool stuff happening. I'm loving seeing some of the stuff that they're dropping as far as the items go. I'm really kind of digging this event, even though I wish they would tell us what to hunt and what the items were that we could potentially be after. I think that would have made it a better event. Don't just tell us it's a hunting free-for-all. Tell us, hey, go after these specific mobs. Here's the specific items. Like they did with the Argonaut Claw at the FEN event. We at least knew the Argonaut Claw existed. We at least kind of knew what to hunt. So I think the event could have been improved a little bit, but I'm still having a great time with it. I still think it's a nice little change of pace, and I hope to see more stuff similar to this in the future. So I'm going to leave it right there for today. I know this video's ran long. I don't like to do that. Sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Head over to earnped.com as long as you're anybody but Zero, because, like I said, Zero, your account's now banned. In fact, while we're here, let's see if he's in the user register, because I want to be sure Zero gets all the credit for yelling at me like this, because I'm the one at fault. Zardahan. Okay, maybe that's not his username? Hesher? There we go. That's him. Zardahan Hesher 0. That's him right there. So let's be sure he gets credit. And, you know, I'm going to leave it right there. Head over to earnped.com if you're anybody but him, because as I said, his account is banned. It will not be unbanned like ever-ish. And we're just going to leave it there. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, because there's always somebody like Mr. Zero trying to hit the dislike button. And when you guys do this, it doesn't just help us. It helps you guys too. Because what ends up happening is YouTube looks at how many likes we have. It looks at how many subscribers we have. It looks at how many people like each individual video. And then it decides how much it's going to show our videos to other people. So if a lot of people like our videos, if a lot of people are subscribing to the channel, then what they end up doing is they show these videos to people who watch similar videos, who play similar games. That introduces people to Entropia that have never seen it before. They end up joining the community. Next thing you know, they're part of the economy. That's good for everybody. So we'll leave it there for today. Sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Take care, Stevies.